Hey everyone, I'm Jared.
And I'm Chantel.
Welcome to the Poured Out Podcast. All right, I forgot to say what we were gonna talk about today.
Yeah, I forgot about it too because we didn't have a topic last time.
Yeah, but today we are gonna talk about Halloween.
Yes.
So it is fall. It is
autumn. Sounds
What's
better.
the difference?
Nothing.
Oh, like literally nothing?
Yeah, they're the same thing.
Mm.
But autumn just sounds fancier.
Sounds like a fancier word.
Yeah.
I have my autumn sweater on. So
/ Christmas.
it's kind of a Christmas sweater.
Yeah.
But
I like it.
it's got like the orange-ish color, so I feel like that qualifies.
That is true.
Right?
That is like the leaves falling off the ground, kind of orangey brown.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I don't have anything pumpkin spice in my cup, so
Just plain old Earl Grey.
Yeah. Okay. I'm not sure I'm in the mental space to be talking right now because I went up to make a cup of tea and I opened my pouch, like the tea bag thing, and then threw the tea bag in the garbage.
So you had to get another one?
Yeah, I had to get another tea bag because I just like opened it up, threw it in the garbage, and then was holding the wrapper, ready to put that in my tea in my cup.
This?
No,
oh,
no,
man.
but I did share it with you now. So.
Oh, I did not know where you were going with that. That's good.
Yeah.
I'm like tearing up already.
Yeah, so that's where my brain is at right now. Apparently,
And we're going to record a podcast on a very controversial topic.
This could be. Is it a controversial? I guess it is a controversial topic. Yeah.
Yes, it is. We're going there. Episode 5.
Ooh, already.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we got to start out with like, well, no, I was going to say non-controversial topics, but we're going to talk about candy. So I feel like that's going to be a controversial topic too. So.
Yeah. So, Dude Perfect did, they always do like top 10s or whatever. They did a candy one because I was just Googling like, what are different kinds of candy to see what my top were. And they had a picture of him and all his, I don't remember like what Ty all chose for his top, but he's really bad at, I don't like his top lists.
Well, a lot of it, like being Canadian, a lot of their picks are stuff we don't even have.
Is true. Yeah.
So.
But some of the things that he picks, like those are terrible.
Yeah. Fair. Okay, so we're going to do top 3 candy, and we were talking about doing top 3 candy from childhood, but I can't really remember that, so it's going to be more like top 3, but it's top 3 Halloween candy for me.
Oh, okay. I was not aware of this. Okay.
Because I know what your number 1 is then, if it's not Halloween candy, but I'm going to stick with my list because it'll at least be a little different.
Okay.
I think I know what your number 1 is.
Well, what would be my number 1 if we weren't doing Halloween?
Dinosaurs.
Oh, I forgot about those.
Really?
Yeah, we haven't had them in forever.
Yeah, but we always like lament the fact that we can't find them.
I know. Costco needs to bring them back.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, that's fine.
Halloween
just
candy.
Stick with what you got.
Give me a minute. Give me a minute.
Stick with what you have.
No, I'm gonna go.
It's mostly the same. It should like.
No, it's not.
Well, I need to know both lists now.
We're already controversial. Is Halloween candy lists top 3 the same as regular candy top 3?
But most regular candy, you can like it gets handed out at Halloween. It's just in smaller packages.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree to disagree with you.
Okay.
Because I don't think.
Okay, what's your top 3? What's your number 3 that you had written down originally?
Nerds.
You can get small nerds.
Yes, that was the one off of this list that would be on there. But
okay, fair.
Well, does chocolate count as candy?
Well, Halloween candy it does.
Because I was gonna say dark chocolate Toblerone, but that's not
that's not getting handed out.
No, that was my. No. And cherry blasters, but you don't get those for Halloween either.
There might be small packages.
Oh, I don't know. So I'm quickly
list ruined already.
I'm quickly rethinking.
Okay,
well, I already have one. So
my number 3 is Starburst.
Okay, yeah.
Like because you get the little 2 Starburst in a package, and you always hope that they're both cherry.
Or you want the red ones, right? Because then you're at least gonna get a pink and a red, or like 2 red or 2 pink.
That's right. They have ones that are all like cherry, strawberry, or
is it
just the 2 kinds?
Yeah, for the original.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, the original are the only Starburst.
So there's
the other
like also
ones are
tropical
awful.
and I don't know what else.
Those are terrible.
Okay.
But Starburst is number 3.
Okay, well, I'm not going in any particular order. We're going to go with the one that I have currently written down, Sour Patch Kids.
Ooh. That's my number 2.
Is it?
Yeah.
I wouldn't pick it for a non-Halloween candy. Like, if we're at the store and there's all this candy, I'm not going to pick it.
So that's why I feel like picking Halloween candy is harder because there's not a ton of actually good options.
But I mean, after the kids have gone through and they've eaten their favorites and we're hitting November 10th and the candy's dwindling, I'm going to eat it. If it's candy, I'm going to eat it. I don't really care what it is.
True.
But
well, some of it gets thrown away.
Yes, okay, that is fair.
You do care about some of it.
But I mean, to the extent of if we've kept the candy, I'm willing to eat it.
Okay. So yeah, Sour Patch Kids was also my number 2. I really like Sour Patch Kids, but like a limited amount.
Yeah,
so I feel like
my mouth is already sour just thinking about it.
I feel like the like little Halloween size ones are really good because there's only like 5 in there.
Yeah, that is true.
Of course, if you ate 4 packages, it doesn't really matter. But
well, we will try not to buy too much candy before Halloween this year.
Yeah, that's crucial.
Eat the entire thing.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, I have a
number 2.
I have a number 2. Well, and I'm kind of cheating because we never have it, and so maybe that's why it would be number 2 because I'm kind of craving it. A Twix chocolate bar because you can get the mini Twix.
Mm-hmm.
But I generally try not to buy like gluten-y chocolate bars and stuff. But that was one that I actually found, I think, when I was in England. Because I was like, oh, we have these at home, and we have that. They had them there. So.
And were they the same?
Yeah, they were actually the same.
Nice. I never even liked those when I did eat gluten.
The key is you eat the wafer first, and then you're left with the chocolate and the caramel stuff, and then you get.
So it's not coated. It's like
a
layer.
It's kind of coated, but it's like.
Like, how do you eat the wafer first without the chocolate?
You dip it upside down. You eat the wafer like you do like corn on the cob, just straight across. And then you eat the other part.
Cool.
Yeah.
Sounds classy.
That's why you've never seen me do it.
Twix bars. Okay. Well, my number 1, I don't know who's going first anymore. My number 1 is Swedish berries.
Oh, yeah. That doesn't surprise me.
Yeah. I really like Swedish berries.
I'm trying to think of what other candies there is. I would just say another chocolate bar. What's a mini chocolate bar that... Oh, yeah, and chocolate bar. It's not a candy bar. Let me just be all Canadian here. It's definitely a chocolate bar. So we have a lot of people that listen from the US.
Oh, yeah.
A candy bar doesn't make any sense. Candy is different than chocolate. A chocolate bar is chocolate. Okay.
Is a chocolate bar candy?
Well, I mean, in this list it is, but not really. Like, if I'm saying I'm craving candy,
yes,
that is different than I'm craving chocolate.
If you told me to pick up some candy for you, I wouldn't bring a chocolate bar home.
No.
Well, I would bring maybe candy and a chocolate bar because I know you pretty well, but not just a chocolate bar.
Yeah. So what do you think would be my number 1?
For Halloween stuff?
Yeah.
I would have thought like Starburst because you like, or Jolly Ranchers.
Oh, Jolly Ranchers. Yes. I had Starburst last week when we went on our trip. I chose that as my candy.
That's right.
And I was like, I don't really like these. I mean, I ate them.
Don't not like them that much.
Yeah, still candy, but
candy's candy.
Well, some of it is worth throwing in the garbage after the kids bring it home.
Yeah. So, what's the worst Halloween? What's the worst thing that gets handed out to kids at Halloween?
Oh, I don't know. I need to think of this later. Like, what are the things that get thrown out? I have a memory from childhood. I think that we'll talk about it a little bit later. The worst thing I've ever received, but I don't think most kids receive this. So.
Okay. I'm trying to think. I don't like when they hand out like single caramels. I know some people like them, but
they always come kind of like half melted into the package.
Yeah.
And I don't mind eating caramels, but I don't want. That feels just too close to.
To me, caramels are like something you use for baking something, not.
Oh, so you don't like caramels?
Like, they're okay, but I wouldn't eat them as a candy. Unless I was really desperate. I mean, I used to eat sugar cubes just when I was a kid, so.
Yeah, exactly. It's the same thing.
It really is.
Yeah, I guess.
But there's a lot of candy, though. Like, and our kids, it's like parade candy, too.
Yeah.
It's like they bring candy home, which they're excited about, but then they don't often eat a lot of it.
Yeah.
Like, they don't really care that much.
Yeah.
double bubble,
Double bubble.
hard as rock candies.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
When's the last time you dressed up for Halloween or anything actually? Like put a costume on?
Probably when I was like grade 3, 4. I didn't even dress up in high school when we had days.
The dress up days?
Yeah, some people like yourself did a great job with that. Did that, but
that is true. That's funny because we were going to talking about like what would you dress up as if you had to dress up in a Halloween costume. Yes. I was just thinking like I could not think of anything because I'm so not for costumes.
Well, you don't want focus on you.
Yeah.
It's not like you're against costumes, people wearing costumes.
Well,
it's
I do think adults wearing costumes is a little silly.
Yep.
But mostly, yeah, it's because I don't like drawing attention to myself.
Yeah.
Which then, like, if everybody else is dressed up and you're not, it kind of draws attention to yourself too, though, right?
True enough. But in high school, I wasn't the only one not dressed up.
True.
So you just had a group of friends that all decided together to dress up. You guys went shopping together, right?
Value Village. I think we went to Value Village and found, because we had like 70s day or something. That one. Yeah. So we found some sweet clothes. That's the only one I really remember dressing up for.
If there was a pajama day, maybe I did that because then I just
that's just easy.
Then I didn't have to change.
Yeah.
But no, I don't think I've dressed up since grade 3, grade 4. Even when I was a teacher or an EA, I avoided those days somehow. Got by. Yeah, I don't think you would find any pictures of me dressed up. Yeah.
There's definitely some pictures of me dressed up in the
70s.
Like, the 70s stuff. Because I think we did did some kind of music thing that time too. And then there's like a picture of
yes, you playing guitar.
Yeah.
Wearing your nice 70s outfit. I do remember that. Yeah.
I don't know where the picture is, so
that would have been grade 10, 11.
One of those. I don't know which one.
Probably 11.
Probably.
Pre us dating, grade 11.
And that's what made you want to date me, hey? It's the 70s
I was gonna say once we started dating you, you no longer dressed up.
Once I got it out of my system, you're like, okay. Now
I'll date you.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, costumes. Definitely, I guess just never were my thing. Still not.
So if you had to go out in a costume.
Yeah. Now. It would be some kind of bookish reference.
Okay. Yeah.
So I was thinking like a librarian, except I don't actually own skirts. I own dresses, but like, the librarian look is very much a skirt, and or like Belle from Beauty and the Beast, because she's known for reading.
Right.
Some kind of literary.
So either a character from a book or something that.
Yeah.
Is about like an author or.
Yeah, something like that. I would go with that route. What about you?
I had to think for a long, and I still don't really know. I feel like it would probably have to be some kind of Lord of the Rings reference.
Right. Yeah.
And then I was trying to think, well, like, what would I dress up? Like, what character would I dress up as, though? And like going through the options, and I feel like dwarf has to be the one that's I'm like closest to, because I'm not tall, so I was thinking Hobbit.
You got Hobbit or you got dwarf.
But then like hobbits don't have beards, but dwarves have like really big beards. Yeah. So.
Kind of a combination.
I am kind of a combination.
Right in between a hobbit and a dwarf.
Yeah. So. So, yeah, I have no idea, but I don't plan on going out in costume anytime soon, I guess.
Oh, so I'll return your hobbit dwarf costume that I bought.
I guess so. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what it is. I think it's just, like a self-conscious kind of thing where I've always just found it awkward or.
Well, and you have to want to, like, if I actually wanted to dress up in a costume, I think I would get over the self-consciousness part of it. But then you gotta go buy the costume, and I just couldn't be bothered.
Yeah. Don't care that much about it.
No, nor do I have any place to wear it, stuff like that. So.
Yeah. If you want to dress up, go for it.
Absolutely.
I'll just wear my fall sweater.
Yeah.
Winter sweater.
Sounds good.
Yeah. Yeah, so you did go trick-or-treating as a kid.
Yeah, so talking about childhood, Halloween, the first few years of elementary school, we lived in town and had I would say, like, typical childhood Halloween. Except, we're in Saskatchewan, so you wear your snowsuit under your...
over if you're, depending on what your costume
yeah,
is.
well, one year I was a clown, so I had my snowsuit on underneath my costume, so I looked like a fat clown with a wig and stuff. And then I would walk around from, like, house to house and then hop in the vehicle for a bit to warm up and then go around. But I lived in a very small town where you knew everybody.
Yeah.
And yeah, that was just kind of how it was. And then when I was in grade 4, we moved onto a farm, and then we were outside of town, so no one ever came to our door. I didn't go anywhere. My parents either couldn't be bothered, or I didn't care to do it myself or ask. Or
Yeah, I mean, that's how... So I grew up outside of town, and I never really... So I think I went trick-or-treating one time. I remember we were at one of my cousins' places. They lived in a village, and they were going to go trick-or-treating. And so then we went along, found some kind of... I don't know what I dressed up as, or if I even did.
Right.
Just found whatever they had.
For you?
Yeah.
Hockey player.
Maybe. No, I feel like it probably was like a clown or some kind of, like...
They just found the worst costume they could find in their house.
Maybe.
Made to put it on. No.
But yeah, me and, like, cousins and siblings, I think we all... And that was my only...
That was one time. How old were you?
Oh, I don't know. It was quite young, but I don't know, maybe like 8-ish.
Okay.
Like, young enough.
Grade 3-ish.
Yeah, I can see something like that. And so, yeah, we never, like, when you live out of town, nobody ever shows up at your door.
Right.
And obviously it wasn't enough of, like, my parents weren't going to drive us to town. I don't even know what they really thought about the idea of, like, trick-or-treating or whatever. It never really came up.
Well, the school that you went to and then I later went to too had an event on Halloween.
Yeah, and I'm assuming that event was purposely on Halloween so that people weren't celebrating Halloween. And so it was called Fun Night, which is, thinking back, like, just the most creative name in the world. Literally, it was just called Fun Night. I hope that
person got a raise for their brilliant idea.
They thought about that one for a long time. But it was just every class would have some kind of game in their classroom.
Right.
And then the teacher would buy...
They would get prizes. Every kid would bring prizes.
Oh, kids would bring prizes. Yes. That's right. So everybody had to bring something to contribute to the prizes.
Yes.
Yeah. And so then you would go that night, you would buy tickets, and then you would spend tickets on different games. And so it was like a fundraiser for the school. And I always had a blast. Like, it was a lot of fun. Like, I didn't, like, have anything to compare it to, like, compared to trick-or-treating or whatever.
Well, like, even in high school, it's like, well, all your friends are there, and we each had to take turns running the activity for half an hour stretches of time. But everyone's going to be there. Yeah. It would be different if all your friends were somewhere else and you're stuck there. But everyone had to come and do their part. Yeah. So.
And as a kid, it was fun because you just went and the prizes were still usually candy and pop and chips and stuff.
And you didn't have to freeze outside.
True.
Walking from house to house.
Yeah.
It's kind of brilliant for the parents' sake.
Yeah. Kind of, except for the parents had to often be there helping.
That is true.
For the younger ages, they would have to help with the different activities too. Mm-hmm. But that was my whole, like, all through from kindergarten through
grade 12.
Well, pre-kindergarten, because I was the youngest, so my siblings would have been doing it before that.
Did they start it, like, way back then?
I don't know,
was it
actually.
Always a thing?
Maybe it wasn't a thing back then.
I don't know. It was always a thing when I went there.
Yeah. I remember it. I never remember it not being a thing. Yeah, that sentence makes sense. Remember, I threw my tea bag in the garbage, so.
Just excuse any obvious errors.
Yeah, but that was normal. That was just, I didn't feel like I missed out on anything. Yeah. And it was a way to, I guess, not to encourage people, I guess, not to participate in Halloween celebrations.
Yeah.
And yeah, which I think, I mean, there's nothing wrong with that, like doing something like that, I don't think. But then when we had our own kid, I guess, when's the first year we would have taken her trick-or-treating?
Well, I clearly remember when she was 3 years old, she, I don't know, found out about Halloween. I don't know how the first kid does these things, whatever. Her goal, what she wanted to do, was wear her Cinderella costume and give candy to kids.
Oh, that's
She
right.
thought that would just be so much fun.
Yeah, she didn't want to go out. She wanted to be at the door handing out candy.
Yeah, so that was the first year we did anything Halloween-like. When, prior to that, like as far as handing out Halloween candy goes, you and I were just like, oh, why would we want to sit at the door for a couple hours?
The philosophy was turn off all the lights and pretend you're not home just so you don't have to answer the door all the time.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of like almost like the two extremes, right? Where, well, those aren't the extremes, but yeah, so we've thought about like how do you best engage the culture around you with stuff like Halloween.
Yeah. As a Christian.
And like, I don't like Halloween. I think it's a really dumb holiday. And
holiday. It's not a holiday. It's
I think it's a dumb celebration.
Yeah, I don't even know what the right word is, but
yeah, it just like there's a lot of elements of it that I really don't like.
Yeah.
But you also, like, when you look at the culture around us, Halloween isn't about, for most people, it's not about like evil.
Yeah. It's
about wearing a costume and getting candy.
Yeah, that's most people's thoughts about Halloween.
And so then when you do shut off the lights and kind of hide away, is that the best response to your neighbor who is just, wanting to stop at your door and say hi and, just participating in a cultural event?
Yeah, so when we moved to this neighborhood 8 years ago now, we really noticed how much people just drive into their garage, close the garage door, don't interact, right?
Yeah.
Except one night a year.
Yeah.
Halloween, everybody wants you to come to their door and they want to open it and at least exchange a short interaction.
Yeah.
And they'll do the same as they bring their kids to your door.
Yeah.
And we had an awkward, was it last year? I had a really awkward Halloween experience, and I think I told you. I was taking our foster kid around town. So it was the first time, or down the street, we didn't go around town. It was the first time we had done it in a while. I think this was last year. Maybe it was a couple of years ago with a different kid. But the philosophy generally, the idea is if your lights are on, you're giving out candy, right?
Yeah.
Because the sun sets really early here, so it's pretty dark.
It's the generally accepted, like if your light is on, you can expect your doorbell to be ringing all night.
Right? Okay. Oh no, this was a few years ago because these people moved away a little while ago. So anyway, it doesn't matter. We went to the door, the kid said trick or treat, and they're like, oh, sorry, we don't celebrate Halloween. And they closed the door.
So they were probably doing that all
night long because our lights were on.
All
the outside lights were on. It was like, come to our door, it looked like. And I know these people have been. And I know they have like a Christian background and all this. And I think this was their way of trying to educate society of something. I'm not sure. But it just left me feeling really uncomfortable. And that is as somebody that like can kind of understand their standpoint.
Where they're coming from, yeah.
But never, like, how uncomfortable would that be for other people? Or, yeah, what kind of
impression does it give them? Yeah. Yeah, and that's a hard thing because, like, just because it makes someone uncomfortable doesn't mean it's not a good thing to do.
Right, yeah.
But, like, yeah, how are you going about... Like, there's times, I think, to stand up against what the way culture is going, obviously. Like we're not called to just do whatever the culture does.
No, and we are supposed to be set apart.
Yeah.
Right? Like in the way we live, I think.
Yeah.
But there's different ways to do it. I don't think one night saying something, we believe this, we believe that, through a door in a 20-second interaction is going to get a whole lot.
Yeah,
through.
like it depends what else. Like if that's the only thing you're doing to be different in your neighborhood, then it's not going to be.
Or if that's the only interaction you ever have with people in your neighborhood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a tough one because I can definitely see both sides of like I wouldn't say we celebrate Halloween at all.
I wanted to clarify this.
Yeah, like, you know, we're not decorating our house. We're not like celebrating things that we just feel aren't things to be celebrated, right. I guess. Mm-hmm. But on the other hand, it is that opportunity where you have your neighbors knocking on your door.
Yeah.
And you can, you know, share some candy with them, like be generous, show them that you love them.
Yeah.
But I think it depends on, like, every culture is going to be different. Every like situation is going to be different. I know different cities, different countries there's a different connotation, I guess, around Halloween. Mm-hmm. And some places there's a lot more of a dark aspect to it, where it's like if you participate in any, you know, Halloween related events, you could be seen to be supporting those aspects of it, right? Mm-hmm. And so I don't think it's like a one size fits all, like, should you participate in trick-or-treating or not? Like, I think you really need to discern what if you do, what is that going to mean? If you don't, what is that going to mean?
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Because a few years in a row, we would, we helped arrange a block party. Excuse me. And we went door to door and we tried to hand out invitations for this block party. And it was amazing how many people wouldn't come to their door when you could see them through their window. They wouldn't come to the door for an invitation to a block party, but like come Halloween, they want you to come to their door. And we've got like neighbors that you only get to interact with on Halloween.
Yeah.
So,
and we have a lot of, like, our neighborhood has a lot of young kids.
Yeah.
So that makes a difference too, I think, where it's.
Yes. And so usually it's parents coming with their kids. Yeah. It's not just kids on their own.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's the whole, you know, we're in the world, but we're not supposed to be of the world.
Yeah.
Right. And so, yeah, there's somewhere there's a line, right? And I think it's kind of different for every situation, as long as you're really prayerfully thinking through, like, how can you bless your neighbors? And sometimes that might mean not participating at all in any, you know, Halloween type events. Like, my preference would just be to do nothing.
Yeah. Because
that's easier. It's like I don't have to go to the door 40 times in an evening. But I do think that if we were those people that just like shut out the lights or just kind of ignored everybody that evening, I don't think that would be a great witness in our neighborhood, I guess.
Yeah. And I think it can vary even for the same family from neighborhood to neighborhood.
Yeah. Yeah, you kind of have to like know your neighborhood to know what is appropriate.
Yeah.
There.
On a very side tangent here, I forgot to talk about my worst candy that I ever got.
Oh, yes. I want to hear about your worst candy.
Oh, I'm sure you've heard the story before. So my grandma used to have this 99-year-old man living across the street from her, and my grandma lived right down the street from us. So one year I went trick-or-treating, and he reached into his mini marshmallow bag and gave me, like, I don't know, 6-ish mini marshmallows, rock hard. My dad thought it was hilarious. So what showed up in my lunch kit the next day? A bunch of rock hard marshmallows. So.
You didn't eat them that night? Weren't so excited?
Oh, man. I must have been, grade 4 at the latest, because that was the last year I went to that school. And I remember opening up my lunch and just being kind of horrified and also thinking it was hilarious at the same time. So, yeah, what not to give kids if you're giving out candy.
Yeah. I know there's like the toothpaste, like the little things of toothpaste.
Oh, do people give those out?
Not often, but it has happened before.
We got some really good people on our street. They'll give out a full-size chocolate bar, or like a full-size can of pop.
Yeah.
A little bit more generous than our teeny little things.
Well, usually we give quite a few because we often
like
buy like quite a bit of candy, and then we're like, we probably shouldn't eat all this.
Well, and then we always have less kids than I think we're going to have.
Yeah.
But
which is good. Like you want to be generous, right? Not be known as the stingy people.
And one year we did, after I found out there was like a boy on our street that had diabetes, we did glow sticks that year.
That's right. That was really popular, actually. Kids really like that.
Gave out glow sticks instead of candy. So it's like a way to think about your neighbors and go into the day thinking how you can bless them. Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, you kind of have to know at least something about your neighbors in order to do that, right? And so it's another way, again, like depending on your context, but it's another way to engage your neighborhood. The glow sticks is a really good idea for us because it's so dark.
Yeah.
Like by the time kids are trick-or-treating, like it's dark by like 6 probably then.
Well,
6.
The sun sets before 7 now already, and we've got a few more weeks, so it's pretty dark the entire time kids are out there.
Yeah. So then if they right away use the glow sticks, then at least
you can find the kid.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, it's a tough one. And our kids are getting older now too, or they're approaching the age limit, I feel like, of trick-or-treating.
I don't think Reka is going this year, to my knowledge. So it's a whole different ballgame then.
Yeah. Yeah.
They can come back on the end of giving out candy.
Yeah, she always wanted to do that sometimes she would, even when she started trick-or-treating, she would want to go for a bit, but then she'd want to come back so that she could hand out candy.
Yeah.
So parenting win.
Yeah.
Not that we I don't know. Specifically did anything.
Not that we did anything, but it's an introvert win is what that is.
I guess, yeah.
We don't have to do it ourselves.
True.
And that's why we need days like this maybe to push ourselves out of our comfort zone a bit.
That is true, yeah.
Our natural introverted tendencies are just to be like, pretend we're not home and lock the door.
Yeah. And that's very much the cultural context of our neighborhood too, where it's people don't really interact a whole lot. Like maybe some people with their immediate neighbor. Yeah. But even that's pretty limited.
Yeah, it's for sure. There's not a whole lot of interactions going on.
No.
There's multiple houses really close to us that I have no idea. I couldn't even tell you age, gender of the people that live there because I just never see them.
You just see vehicles driving into garages.
Yeah.
Yeah. But then, there's often kids that will come to the door on Halloween that you might not have seen before. Yeah. And they're kids, that moved in over the last year down the street that we haven't actually been able to see. So, yeah. Any other thoughts on Halloween from your end?
Still not dressing up this year.
No?
No. Just
me neither.
Be myself.
No dwarf costume for me.
Too bad. Maybe next year.
I can continue to grow my beard until then and see if it's long enough to braid like a proper dwarf.
Yes, and then if it's not, then you have to shave it and be a hobbit.
Oh. I'm not sure which one you would like worse.
I don't know what you look like without a beard anymore.
Like very long beard.
I also don't know what you look like with that.
No. I don't know what I look like with either, so. So that probably won't happen. All right. Well, I guess those are our thoughts on Halloween. That's kind of how we do things. That's how we have, at least in our current neighborhood.
Yeah.
Curious to hear what other people do, what they've found works. So
Yes.
if you've got anything to share, leave a comment on the YouTube video. I think that's it.
That's all.
All right. Thanks
Bye.
for joining us, and yeah, see ya.